Good morning. How is everybody doing? My kids are very, very noisy this morning, so you're going to hear them in the background. I hope everybody had a nice weekend. It was kind of rainy, but had some nice parts to it. It's going to be a nice day today. Sunny, I think high of 10, at least in Hamilton here. Okay, so the upcoming week. So we looked at last week creating the grid, translating a shape, which is moving a shape. So now we're going to look at the different manipulations of the shape. Okay, so one of the ones that we're going to start with today is reflecting. This should not be a very long video. There's really only one thing to it. So one of the different things is instead of having a translation vector, we're actually, we're taking a shape and we're actually moving it around the grid. We're not going to do that. We're going to reflect it. Okay, so you've got to think of a mirror, right? So you got to think of your reflection point and then the symmetry, the congruence of both sides of the shape. So it's got to look the same across that line of symmetry or the line of reflection. So let's put a shape in here, okay? Let's do I actually made two examples here. This is an 8x8 grid, just so I could get two different examples so we could see. Okay, so we got a triangle. Let's go A, B, C, and on the side here, triangle, A, B, C. I'm not going to put in the coordinates. We just want to get doing the reflection part of it, okay? So what we're going to do is, the way we reflect is we have to figure out what we're reflecting over. Because we've got a Cartesian grid, we've got two lines already there we could reflect. We can reflect across the y-axis. There's my son. We can reflect across the y-axis, or we can actually reflect across the x-axis. Okay, so we can reflect in this situation. We can reflect horizontally. In this, we can reflect vertically. Okay, but for this one, we're going to go and reflect. We'll reflect across the y-axis. Okay, so this is what we want to do. You got to think about it like this. For each vertex, for each point, how far out you go from the line of reflection, you got to go at the same distance. So if we come from this point right here, which is actually our line of reflection, if we want to get to our A vertex, we're going to go 1, 2, 3. Okay, so we have that. So if we're going to go this way on the positive side, 3, so let's just put plus 3 for this. We're going to go negative 3. Think about the number line again, okay? We're going to go 1, 2, 3. That's negative 3. Okay, so think about an equation. Minus 3 plus 3 is going to equal to 0, right? Both sides have to balance. So if we went out 3, we're going to go 3. So that point right there, that's our A vertex, okay? Now look at B. If we go to the right side of this quote-unquote number line, we got 1, 2. It's going to be a plus 2. Now if we go plus 2 on the right side, we got to go negative 2 on the opposite side. So we're going to go 1, 2. There's negative 2. There's that. B. Now this one, this is our C vertex. Let's see how far that's out. So we go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Okay, so that's going to be plus 7. So if we're going to go plus 7 on that side, we're going to have to go minus 7 on the other. Okay, we're going to go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 right there. See. Okay, so let's line them up. So we have reflected this shape across the y-axis. Each vertice is the equal distance from our line of reflection, which is y. Okay? Now we have to understand one thing, we have to remember, is that we've created a new image. Okay? So we have A, I'm going to put B down here just so it's a little clearer, and then we've got C. We got A, B, C. So this is like what's called our pre-image, right, or object. But this is our image, and this is a new shape that we've created, that we've moved, okay? So we're going to go A1, B1, C1. You use your Roman numerals, right? Now if we were going to do something again, we would have to make sure and label it a little bit differently to show that it was a new shape. So this is your A prime, B prime, C prime. Prime, that's the A1, B1, C1. And there you go. There's your reflecting across the y-axis. Okay? So, let's go over here. Okay? Let's go and do, I'm going to do a triangle again just because, you know, a three-sided polygon seems to make sense when you're doing this. Okay? Let's start it in this quadrant right here. So we're going to go 1, 2, 3. Okay. So we've got, let me just zoom this in a little bit because I got some space. There we go. Okay, so we're on to our example 2, example 1. Okay, so here's our example 2, and we've got a triangle, and instead of reflecting it this way, we're going to reflect it across vertically. We're going to reflect it across the x-axis. Okay, so this is the same thing. So let's go ahead and do A, B, C. Here's our object or pre-image. Okay, this is what we're starting with. So let's go and do, I'm going to go left to right here. Normally I would start with that A vertex B, but actually I'm going to go like just like reading a book. I'm going to go left to right. So let's go C. So we're going to go up. We're going to go 1, 2. So that's going to be +2. So we're going to have to go 1, 2 below, -2. So there's that C vertex right there. So let's count up A. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That's 6. So let's go down 6, right? Make sure you're on that right line. So we go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I think that's right there. Let's go B. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. There you go. So there's our points, okay? So there you go. You've taken this shape and you've reflected it across, okay? So equal distance between each vertice and the line of reflection, okay? So vertex B, up 3, -3, okay? C, up 2, -2. A, up 6, -6. So you got to make sure that's C, this was A, this was B. You know, remember that this is an image now, so we have to refer it as such. There's your A prime, B prime, C prime. Your image, A1, B1, C1, shows us that we've got a new image. So fairly straightforward in terms of what's happening, okay? What are we at here? What's our time? Okay, we're at 10 minutes, okay? I try to keep these anywhere in between 13 and 15. You know, who's really listening past 15 minutes on these things, right? The point is you don't need to talk forever on stuff. Now, I may actually put in, I'm just thinking about it right now, I was going to do 2 lessons. I was going to do reflection, and then I was going to do rotation in 2-part. I actually may end up posting another small video tomorrow on doing an arbitrary line of reflection. So for example, okay, I'm going to show you something that I have an example of from last year. So so you've got this right here. I'm going to post this video up after I'm done. Okay, so take a look at this for a second. Okay, just so this is not confusing. Okay, so look what's happening here. I will do an example if this is like confusing. So this is like a big grid where I've got, I'll just show you the whole thing. So this is like a big Cartesian grid where I've done 2 examples in the same grid. But I just want you to focus in on this grid right here, or this quadrant. So I've got A, B, C. And what I've done, I've started it in one quadrant, in the lower left quadrant, and I've actually reflected it further lower in that quadrant because I've put in a line of reflection. So the one point that I'll make is you just don't need to reflect over the y-axis or the x-axis. There can be situations where you're going to reflect over other lines of reflection that are put into a grid, okay? So this line of reflection was actually put at -7 on the x-axis, okay? So -7. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. There's -7. This is -7 going on the x-axis, right? So it's actually been, it's like, think of, it's not a great example, but it makes me think of like a movie where a plane was landing on the runway, but it's almost like if the runway was decreased, 7 feet below sea level, right? That's what that line of reflection is. It's like the floor moving down, okay? And that's what we reflected over. But I will do an example on this for tomorrow so you can see the difference, okay? Okay, hopefully you got that. Have a great day. Take a look at the video. I will post, I think I'll probably post 1 question that you guys can do. Remember, we're just going to maximum 2 hours of work, and we've got an assignment that's coming at the end of the week, okay? So do this. I'll post the question, and then look for the next lesson on Tuesday morning. Have a great day, and I will see you guys soon. Bye.